Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks so much for being here and for being subscribed. If you're not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, hit that like button while you're at it. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. And listen, on this early morning, we need to get some lights on. And I just need to get some clarity on this news, this alleged news that Hotel Hope, better known as Ariane's baby wipe, had the unmitigated gall, allegedly again, to demand that OWN pay $1 million to bring his baby mama onto film. Listen, I heard this on one of my faves, True T's YouTube channel, as well as I heard this on a few other channels. I just can't believe this. I'm not saying I don't believe that he wouldn't have the audacity to demand that. Really thinking that he and his baby mama are worth that, let alone just worth anything, is absolutely crazy to me. So it's like, yeah, let me turn these lights on because I must have been dreaming and having a nightmare. And so I need to wake up, turn these lights on, get some clarity, and say, yeah, that could not have been real. That must have been in my dreams. But allegedly, this is what he is demanding. Now, recently, they took a cash trip to Houston, Texas, and the images were out there of him and his Brokeback Mountain 2.0 crew with their tight pants, tight shirts, and cowboy hats on, him showing his cleavage and wearing a ring. And I questioned that, and someone in my comment section said that that's actually the ring that Melody bought for him when they got married. So listen, I don't know. The mind of a narcissist is one that you really cannot understand unless you are clinically and professionally trained to do that. And there are even a lot of professionals that know that a lot of narcissists, they're not able to really be treated because they just don't believe that anything is wrong with them. And even if you are, which I feel that mental issues are a real medical issue. It's not just in your mind, like a lot of people like to say. It's dealing with the brain as well as some aspects of how someone was brought up, raised by their parents or lack thereof or whatever. But when someone is dealing with things like that, it really is up to the person to understand that they really do need help. And a lot of narcissists, they don't believe anything's wrong with them. They believe that everyone else is the problem. So when I heard the story, it did not shock me or surprise me to think that this is something that he could actually try, because I remember when Melody was going to get rid of his ass and she was in the process of doing these things. So she wanted to have an adult conversation. They did it on camera. She sat down with him, and then he just, out of his neck, had the nerve to say that he believed that he deserved whatever percentage it was. I believe he said 15%, maybe it was more, of her new company that she had just created. And I mean, immediately she was just like, I'm dissolving it. She was like, I'm not even going to go down this road with you, nigga. I'm just going to go ahead and dissolve this and moving on. And she's done that. And she just started anew, fresh, brand new. He never had anything to do with it. And that's why he's mad. He knows that she's ultimately probably made, at least $1 million on that company that she created alone. So he's trying to get his money up. And nothing that he has done has benefited him. Nothing that he has done. And I'm laughing at it because this is the thing that I like about this situation. Okay. I am a huge believer in sowing and reaping. You plant good seeds, you reap a good harvest. No one knows when it's going to happen, but you do it. And that's one of the things that ultimately keeps me going, because I know that I've planted good seeds throughout my life. And I love to see good things happening, but when you go through things, sometimes you wonder, like, when is it going to happen? And then when you know that there are persons that have done negative things, because I know I've had some people that have done some terrible things to me, family, people that I used to help out and be associated with in business and things like that. And to be seeing people be so deceitful and devious, they've planted horrible and bad seeds. And you know that ultimately things are going to happen in their lives that are going to be a harvest of what they planted as bad seeds. But you just wonder, when is it going to happen? And it's not that you're sitting there rubbing your hands together, waiting for the day to see it take place, but you just wonder. I love seeing things in real time like this. I love to see people who have done dirty things to other people and see those negative seeds being harvested in their lives and things are not working out for them. I love to see it in real time because sometimes it's like, when is it going to happen? Like, even sometimes you think about people like, I ain't even going to name no names. I'm not going to go down that. But you can just think of some people that have been in the public spotlight. Maybe they used to be the president, whatever. And you just wonder, like, when are things going to really happen? But I digress. Seeing that nothing is working out for him, I love to see it. I love to see it because he has done so many terrible things to his ex-wife, to the mother of, like he loves to say, his 4 beautiful children that he doesn't give a damn about. I don't care what anybody says. People can try to say, well, he's a good dad. He's a good father. No, he's not. I believe that all of the actions that you take, not just the actions that you take towards your children directly, is a direct reflection on the type of parent you are. So if someone who is a parent is dealing with addictions, and who knows why you got into it, but you're dealing with addictions, you're not a good parent. My dad, he dealt with drug addictions for years. And by the grace of God, he's still alive, just hanging on by a thread, in my personal opinion. He was not a good parent. I don't hate him, but he wasn't a good parent. I'm never going to say that he was, because he just wasn't. But I don't hate him. I don't despise him. I'm not out here trashing him, but it's just the actual truth. So Hotel being out here, putting his children's mother, at the time his wife, now ex-wife, at risk because he was out there sleeping around unprotected. I never give anyone the benefit of the doubt when they're out here and being unfaithful to think that they are having protected sex, because you're already being reckless. So we already know that he's at least once done it unprotected, because they now have this child, but she's also claimed that she had multiple terminations of pregnancies. So he was out here being reckless. He could have possibly brought back STDs to Melody, and it's none of our business to know if she ever had that happen, but who's to say that that didn't happen? There's so many STDs and STIs that he put her at risk for, and it's possible that that may have happened. So you can't say to me, my personal opinion is that he was a terrible father and still is, because I believe him wearing the ring was something that he was trying to throw up in Melody's face. I don't think that he really married the baby mama. I don't believe that. But if he did, he would have done it to get back at Melody. Let's just be clear. He would have done it to have gotten back at her because he wants to destroy Melody. And if that is a way that he could have her be around their children as much as he wanted her to be around them, he would do that just for the sake of trying to get back at Melody. Because for that broad, I'm just going to try to be nice and try to use my words nicely. But for that broad to get out here and try to get back at Melody, to talk in terms of the 4 children that Melody has with her baby wipe, to say our 5 children, to try to get under Melody's skin, that's someone that is extremely dangerous, that the court should not deem to be able to be allowed to be around her children. So if that were to be the case, he would, I believe, marry her just for the sake of trying to get back at Melody. Okay. So again, if he is trying to demand $1 million from Owen for her to be filmed on the show, they just need to go ahead and shut Love and Marriage Huntsville down. Because, listen, I don't personally believe that Melody is going to be coming back next season. I don't really see the personal benefit in it, because almost no one on that cast, except for maybe, well, they're not a part of the cast, Nell and Chris Fletcher, that she could stand to be around, as well as Tiffany and her husband Lou. But I mean, I don't really see her around them much either. And I don't think it has anything to do with her not liking them. I believe it's because Melody's life has changed. Her schedule is really busy. We've seen her show that on the show when they were even discussing this Black Business Expo. Expo. I know how to say Expo. I'm just kidding. But she was letting them know, like, well, I have this event, I've got this event, I'm doing this, I'm going to be performing here. So her life really has changed thankfully, for the better. So it's really taking her away from that. I believe the only thing that's keeping her in Huntsville is the court order that says that she is not allowed to move away because of the joint custody situation. I really hope and pray that at some point in time that Martell, excuse my language, just fucks up so bad that she is able to get full custody and she could just move out of Huntsville, because I don't believe she even wants to live there anymore. I just don't. So if she ever did bring up to him, because he's a liar, we know that in that episode when he was talking to his mom and he was just trying to say, well, if she doesn't want the kids, then just give them to me. I don't know why she's doing this. Like, if she doesn't want to have the kids, then just give them to me. When she's talking about, why don't you keep them for 6 months and I get them for 6 months? If she ever said that, I don't know if she did. But if she did make a suggestion in terms of the custody arrangement about the time, it's possible that she did it for the sake of her schedule. Because we know Martell, sorry, I didn't mean to use his birth name, Hotel. He's not doing anything. He has nothing but time to babysit, because that's all he's doing. He's babysitting the kids when he has them in his care. And then that's why he got so upset, where he actually told his therapist, court ordered, by the way, because he's not doing it to better himself, that he told his therapist that he gets upset when people don't do what they say they're going to do. So he was basically talking about, he wanted to put hands on his mom because she said she would watch the kids, and then she said that she couldn't do it again. What? She knows. Like, what do you have going on that you need me to watch your kids? So you can stroll down to Atlanta and get some old cat from Sheree or whoever else you're going down there to let slide up in? It's just like ridiculous. So listen, if he had the audacity to demand of the OWN network to pay $1 million for Arion to come on the show, if that ever happens, it's going to be a loss for the OWN network and for Carlos King, because nobody's going to be tuning in like that to see them. I know they may feel that, oh, well, controversy sells, drama sells. It does to an extent, but both of them are really hated. And you think that they had a boycott before on this show? And they did it while Melody was on the show? We already know that Melody would never be on that show if Coleslaw, the baby mama, was going to be on that show. It would be like a Candy and Phaedra situation. Candy's like, if y'all bring Phaedra back, then go ahead and bring her, but I'm not going to be on here. I don't see that happening, but they did a boycott when Melody was on the show, which in my personal opinion, it's like, well, if you would do that while Melody's on the show, maybe that's hurting her in a way. But I kind of get it. I guess people were trying to make the point that we want to see changes made, because ultimately it is about the viewers. Some people may say negative things about people who call themselves millimeters. I don't personally call myself that, but I do understand and appreciate it, because ultimately, if the viewers are not happy, they're not going to tune in and you're not going to have a show and it's going to be canceled. It's that old saying, the customer is always right. I'm a business owner. I get it. The customer may not always literally be right, but you're doing your best to please them, because if you have no customers or clients, then you don't have a business. So it really is on them to make the viewers happy, or you won't have viewers. And then you have no reason to have a show, and then it's just going to be in the can. So I don't know if they would ever do that. But if they did, I just feel like they already have written their obituaries and the nail would be in the coffin. Just go ahead and bury that, because it's done. It's done. People hate coleslaw and they hate Arion's baby wipe, which is Hotel. Nobody sees it for any of them, really. And those who do, they have similar characteristics and qualities that both of those trash bags do. So I don't think that their opinion really matters much. I'm just saying. So I don't really see them doing that. So we will see what happens. But yeah, allegedly, the news is that he had the nerve to demand of OWN $1 million to have Arion be a part of the show. And I'm like, wow. Really? Okay. You're not worth the whatever it is that they're paying you. Just, oh my God. I can't even. I don't even really know what to say, because this is absolutely insane. So I just have to leave it up to you guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And if they ever did negotiate with him, because they're not going to pay $1 million. Let's just be clear. First of all, I don't even believe they have that to pay, because Love and Marriage Huntsville being the #1 show on the OWN network isn't really a flex, because let's just be honest, what do they really have right now? What do they really have on the OWN network right now? They show a lot of reruns of Dr. Phil. They show some things that Oprah used to do back in the day, and the Super Soul Sundays, which none of that is stuff that a lot of people really watch. So it's not a flex, Carlos, to say that you have the #1 show on the OWN network. It really isn't, especially with the way the ratings have been going. But let's just say that they negotiated with Hotel and his trash bag, and they're not going to pay $1 million. But let's just say they negotiated and got to a number that they both were agreeable to and brought them on the show. It would not be Love and Marriage Huntsville anymore. The show would have to change its name. So you guys let me know in the comment section, if they brought her on the show, they would have to change the name. What do you think they should change the name of the show to? Because we know Melody's not going to be on the show anymore. And I don't see the other couples interacting with her. They are friends of his, but even though that they have not been friends to Melody, she's been out there trashing them too. So it would be really weird to see them interacting with her. So what would they change the name to? Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comment section. Thank you so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.